The Bay Area Figurative Movement marked a significant shift in American art during the mid-20th century, redefining the boundaries of artistic expression. From the 1950s to the mid-1960s, a group of pioneering artists in San Francisco challenged the prevailing dominance of Abstract Expressionism, which had been the leading style of the time. They sought to bring the human figure back into focus, emphasizing the importance of the human form in their work. This movement wasn't just about painting people. It was about capturing the essence of the human experience, the emotions and the stories behind each figure. Artists explored themes of everyday life, emotions, and the individual's place in the world, drawing inspiration from their surroundings and personal experiences. The Bay Area Figurative Movement was a vibrant response to the artistic landscape of the time, offering a new and refreshing perspective. It offered a fresh perspective that resonated with many, breaking away from the abstract to embrace the tangible and relatable. These artists weren't afraid to experiment with color, form, and subject matter, pushing the boundaries of traditional art to create something truly unique. This movement left a lasting legacy on the art world, influencing countless artists and shaping the direction of contemporary art. It continues to inspire and influence artists today, proving that the human figure and experience remain central to artistic expression. The Bay Area Figurative Movement didn't emerge in a vacuum. It was deeply intertwined with the legacy of Abstract Expressionism. Many of the movement's key figures began their careers as abstract artists. They were drawn to the emotional intensity and freedom of expression that Abstract Expressionism offered. However, as they matured as artists, some began to feel limited by the movement's emphasis on pure abstraction. These artists felt a pull towards representing the human form. They wanted to explore the complexities of the human experience in their work. This shift wasn't a rejection of Abstract Expressionism. Instead, it was a natural evolution. It built upon the expressive qualities of abstraction while incorporating figurative elements. This created a unique and powerful artistic dialogue. David Park is considered one of the pioneers of the Bay Area Figurative Movement. His decision to return to figurative painting in the late 1940s was a pivotal moment for the movement. Park had been immersed in the world of Abstract Expressionism. However, he felt a growing dissatisfaction with its limitations. Park sought to capture the immediacy and vitality of life in his paintings. He turned to the human figure as his primary subject. His figures were often depicted in everyday settings, engaged in ordinary activities. Park's brushwork was loose and expressive. He used bold colors to convey emotion and atmosphere. His work was a celebration of life's simple joys and quiet moments. Elmer Bischoff and Richard Diebenkorn were two other prominent figures in the Bay Area Figurative Movement. Bischoff's work was characterized by its use of vibrant, often unrealistic colors. He drew inspiration from his dreams and the subconscious mind. His paintings often had a surreal and dreamlike quality. Bischoff's work explored themes of identity, memory, and the human psyche. Richard Diebenkorn, like Park, began his career as an abstract painter. He was drawn back to figuration in the mid-1950s. Diebenkorn's paintings often featured solitary figures in interior spaces or landscapes. His work was characterized by its strong compositional structure and use of light and shadow. Diebenkorn's paintings conveyed a sense of quiet contemplation and introspection. Section 5. Nathan Oliveira and Manuel Neri exploring human emotion. Nathan Oliveira and Manuel Neri brought a unique perspective to the Bay Area Figurative Movement through their exploration of human emotion in sculpture and painting. Oliveira's paintings often featured isolated figures. His figures were often depicted in somber tones. They conveyed a sense of loneliness and alienation. Oliveira's work explored themes of isolation, mortality, and the human condition. Manuel Neri was a sculptor who worked primarily in plaster, bronze, and concrete. His sculptures were often fragmented and incomplete. This evoked a sense of vulnerability and fragility. Neri's work focused on the female form. He sought to capture the inner strength and resilience of women. Section 6. Joan Brown, the personal becomes universal. Joan Brown was one of the few women artists associated with the Bay Area Figurative Movement. Her work was deeply personal and autobiographical. Brown's paintings often featured herself, her family, and her pets. She explored themes of identity, relationships, and spirituality. Brown's work was characterized by its bold use of color, expressive brushwork, and often humorous imagery. She wasn't afraid to tackle difficult subjects in her work. These included death, loss, and the challenges of being a woman artist in a male-dominated art world. Section 7. Bay Area Figurative versus Abstract Expressionism, a shared lineage. While the Bay Area Figurative Movement distinguished itself from Abstract Expressionism by reintroducing the figure, the two movements shared a common artistic language. This connection is rooted in their mutual emphasis on the expressive potential of paint and the canvas. Both emphasized expressive brushwork, bold colors, and a focus on emotional intensity. These elements were crucial in conveying the artist's inner experiences and emotions, making their works resonate deeply with viewers. The Bay Area. Figurative artists didn't entirely abandon the principles of abstract expressionism. Instead, they found innovative ways to incorporate these principles into their own unique style. They integrated abstract techniques into their figurative work, creating a dynamic interplay between abstraction and representation. This blend allowed for a richer, more nuanced exploration of the human form and experience. This shared lineage is evident in the work of artists like Richard Diebenkorn, who transitioned from abstract to figurative painting. His journey reflects the fluid boundaries between these two movements. Even in his figurative works, Diebenkorn's abstract sensibilities remained evident in his use of color, form, and composition. His ability to merge these elements created a distinctive and compelling visual language. This fusion of styles gave the Bay Area Figurative Movement its distinctive character. It allowed artists to explore new artistic territories while maintaining a connection to their abstract roots, resulting in a rich and diverse body of work. Section 8. The language of color. Bold and expressive. Color played a crucial role in the Bay Area Figurative Movement. Artists used color not merely to depict reality, but to express emotions, create atmosphere, and convey symbolic meaning. They embraced a bold and often unconventional use of color inspired by the Fauvist painters and the expressive qualities of Abstract Expressionism. David Park's paintings, for instance, were characterized by their vibrant hues. He used color to evoke the warmth of the California sun, the coolness of the ocean, and the emotional intensity of human interaction. Similarly, Bischoff's paintings often featured jarring color combinations that reflected the surreal and dreamlike quality of his imagery. Section 9. Beyond the city, finding inspiration in the everyday. Unlike the urban landscapes favored by their abstract expressionist counterparts in New York, the Bay Area figurative artists often found inspiration in the everyday scenes of suburban life. Their paintings depicted ordinary people engaged in mundane activities, such as swimming, reading, or simply sitting in their living rooms. This focus on the everyday reflected a broader cultural shift in American society during the post-war era. As suburbs grew and the middle class expanded, there was a growing interest in depicting the realities of everyday life. The Bay Area figurative artists captured this shift, finding beauty and meaning in the ordinary. Section 10. A legacy of innovation, the enduring impact of Bay Area figurative art. The Bay Area Figurative Movement, though relatively short-lived, left an indelible mark on the American art scene. Emerging in the 1950s and 60s, it was a bold departure from the dominant abstract expressionism of the time. It challenged the prevailing artistic trends of the time, paving the way for a resurgence of figurative painting in the United States. Artists like David Park, Richard Diebenkorn, and Elmer Bischoff were at the forefront, pushing boundaries and redefining what art could be. The movement's emphasis on personal expression, bold use of color, and exploration of everyday themes continues to resonate with artists today. Their works often depicted ordinary life, yet they infused these scenes with a profound sense of emotion and depth. Moreover, the Bay Area Figurative Movement demonstrated the enduring power of the human figure in art. This focus on the human form brought a renewed interest in the complexities and nuances of human expression. Even in an age of abstraction, these artists showed that the human form could still be a vital and compelling subject for artistic exploration. Their innovative techniques and perspectives offered a fresh take on traditional themes. Their legacy continues to inspire artists to this day, reminding us of the enduring power of art to capture the human experience in all its complexity and beauty. The Bay Area Figurative Movement remains a testament to the transformative power of art, bridging the past and the present and continuing to influence future generations.